Hi, welcome to Amnicon Studio. If you are new here, my name is Marcy, welcome. And if you are a returning friend, welcome back. As you can see, I am not in my usual recording spot for recording a Flosstube. When I made the decision to come out here, the sun was shining, there was no wind, and I thought, oh, let's do something different. And then when I got everything together, I'm sorry for the bouncing. When I got everything together and I came out here, the sun went behind the clouds and the wind picked up, and I thought, drat, let me go get my microphone. So the sound is going to sound a little bit different in this episode because my favorite microphone was dead. I thought it would be nice to have something a little different and to hear the outside noise. And you can see that I have snow again still. Yeah, so let's get to it. I put everything in a tote to bring out here. I've got 2 finishes, one new start, I think, and one whip. It's been a moment, and it's like I forgot how to do all the things. So let me get things kind of situated here. I am flying with no notes, so things might be a little discombobulated as well. I cannot get over how quiet it is out here. I mean, I can hear the birds, but there's no wind blowing through the trees, and that seldom happens. Told you, I'm a little disorganized. Okay. I carried one thing out, and I think I've already showed it in the last episode, so we'll put that one back. No, I take that back. I'm reusing a project bag, and that's what threw me off, because I used this one for my lucky chart that was by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Excuse me while I have a moment. Okay. First thing I want to share with you is I'm having one of those moments of deja vu again. So please forgive me if I've shared this one already, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Love a Furbaby by Sambrie Stitches. This was a chart I purchased last year. It was about the time that she rescued Spicy. If you don't follow her on Instagram, she's been posting almost daily pictures of that adorable cat. I purchased it from her Gumroad. The fabric is 14 count Aida, probably Hobby Lobby, nothing fancy. I'm using the called for DMC colors, which is 22, 729, 911, and 959. Oh, I forgot to put the finish on it, so I'll have to put that down here. I started it on March 26th, and I probably finished it March 27th or March 28th. It is a really fast stitch. It's like 500 stitches maybe, if that. But here we go. And no, I haven't ironed it yet because I need to clean my iron because it got dirty thanks to little glue pebbles from some one-sided stabilizer, which I will never buy again because it's caused me nothing but grief. But here we go. And if you can't see it, it says all you need is love and a Furbaby. And once I finish it, I will be sending a picture of it and sending it to her so she can use it as a cover photo for the pattern. I think she said she's going to take it off her Gumroad shop and add it to her Etsy site, and when it's available on there, it'll be $5. But in the meantime, I haven't decided, again, I haven't decided if I'm going to do it as a pillow or if I want to give it a flat fold a try. Not sure yet. So Becca, if you're watching this, I'm kind of dragging my feet on that one because I don't know what to do just yet. Or I could turn it into an ornament. I will say when I took a picture of it, when I finished it, I had it like this, and I thought that turned out cute as well. But I didn't want to give her that photo because there was some shadowing in it, and at the time I didn't want to try to get it even in the embroidery hoop again, because you know how that goes when you're trying to do something and then it just fights you. Yeah, I was worried it was going to do that, so at the time I just didn't want to mess with it. So that is the first one I want to share. The second finish, or yeah, I don't think I shared this one yet on here. I think I talked about it. You know, the video I put out like 2 weeks ago, and I already can't remember. But this is Springtime Social by Brenda Gervais. Yes, I did share it on the last one because I remember this now. I ordered it from her website. I used the called for colors in DMC. The fabric I dyed myself. It's 14 count Aida. Just kind of measured the colors with my heart and made it like a taupe color. I started it March 15th. I finished it April 2nd. And that's all I have to say about that one. Here we are. Another one that is not ironed. I love how the fabric turned out. I love how the chart turned out. There was some unintentional customizations, but I don't think you can tell what was going on. And it's pretty close to what it was originally charted as. So I've had this in my collection for at least 5 years. It was one of the first charts that I purchased that wasn't from like a kit or something. I saw it in a Facebook group and I fell in love with it because, you know, I'm a chicken mama, and we do have a rabbit. We have Pfeffer. And then it just sat for the longest time. I had everything all ready to go with it, and I did it so quick that I'm just like, why? Why did I sit on this for so long when I could have been enjoying it all this time? I think one of the girls is laying an egg, and squirrels are very unhappy. Oh, I also wanted to point out on this one, Sarah the Northward Stitcher. I signed this one too, although you can't really see it on here, but you can see it in person pretty well. And I wanted that one to stand out a little bit instead of kind of like fade into the fabric color. So that one, I think when I posted that one to social media, I said, I don't know if I want to frame it or if I want to turn it into like a decorative pillow and have like on the couch or a chair or something. And I think one person said they would definitely frame it. I'm still undecided on this one though. So that's the finishes. I've got a few, just the 2 works in progress I've got currently going that are SALs. So the first one I want to share that's in this bag that I stitched up is flea market flowers that I am doing a SAL with Mair over at Sin City Stitcher and Alison over at, and I don't know if I ever said this before, but I always hesitate when saying her name because I always want to say Miss AZ Family Zoo Knits. I don't know why, that just wants to flow off my tongue, but Alison over at Miss AZ Family Zoo. There's the chart. So far, I did this part in March. This part was for April. I'm not sure which part will be for May. It'll either be this part or these two pieces. But as soon as I finished this, I stopped. And stats, I started on March 1st. Charts by Holt. 14 count Ada that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, called for DMC, and my notes, who I'm stitching it along with. Now I had a little bit of a story of something that happened while I was working on this one, and it's not really like a funny haha one, and it's not a funny like grr one. It's just like one of those really weird things that I can't believe that happened because it's so random. But my husband was trying to give me a piece of food. What day was this? I can't, might have been Easter Day, and I was working on this. And he pulled off something as a snack, and they said, here, do you want a piece of it? And I said, yeah, sure. My hands were full because I was working on this. And so he went to just like feed me. And he walked across the living room, which is carpeted and air is dry, I guess. And his finger must have touched my tooth because I got such a shock that I'm not even sure how it happened, but like the food dropped on the back of the project, and I wouldn't say I freaked out about that. I was more freaked out like what happened, why did I get a shock? But I had to do some emergency laundry. I wouldn't even call it that. It's like I tried to clean it real quick and let it air dry, and you can't see anything on it, thankfully. Although I'm not so far with it that I wouldn't have had a problem with restarting it if it was really bad, but you can't see anything. So with that, here we are. Another one not ironed. So there is March, there is April. This flower here, the colors are so close together that I actually stopped and went and verified that I had two different colors, but they're so close that, I mean, I guess you can tell that it's two different colors, but while I was working on it, I had that, I don't know about this feeling on it, but I guess it's okay. So this will be put away until May, or unless I get like a bug in my ear and I want to start working on the border or something to kind of get ahead a little bit. We'll see. And then the next piece cross stitch that I'm working on is a stitch along with Alison. This is a chart that I won from Sambrie Stitches when she was doing a giveaway on her Instagram. And Alison said that she had it, and she let me know that Fat Quarter Shop was starting a SAL with it, and we decided to do a SAL together and along with Fat Quarter Shop. And It is Farmyard Friends by Holt. I keep wanting to call it Barnyard Friends. Oh. That goes elsewhere. Well, I started it on April 1st, even though I didn't write it down. Sorry about that. I got a phone call, and I'm not sure where I got left off before the phone stopped recording. Farmyard Friends by Holt. I started April 1st. It's a SAL with Alison over at Miss AZ Family Zoo. I'm just totally thrown off now. I'm stitching it on 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. I'm using the called for colors in DMC. I realize I don't always share the colors of the charts that I'm working on, but I really like these ones. So I wanted to share. Oh, it is something how something unexpected just totally throws you off. But the phone call was some good news, so I was very glad to get that phone call. Sorry for the bonking noise. This is a glass table that I'm on, and I've got a little key fob zipper pull that I got from Patty over at Stitching with My Kitties. Alison informed me, or kind of let me know, that Fat Quarter Shop has a schedule for this chart and that it's a year-long sale. So I did April's assignment, I guess, and it was kind of intense for the little size that it is. It is a little star, quilt star. And you can see the fabric. Oh. That one, I think I worked over 3 days on it, a little bit here and there. Total craziness. It is not often that I get phone calls, and I think that there was one day, maybe back in December during my Flossmas, that I was trying to record, and I received multiple phone calls from different entities. And it's just weird when I get phone calls. I view them with suspicion. But I think I ended that last clip at a good point, and I can share my knitting, what I've been working on. Let me first say that I have not been working on my Maeve Granny Square blanket that I'm doing as a crochet along with Kat over at Stitching with the Griffin, because I realized I don't have as many colors and yarns that I thought I did that I want to pull upon, draw on. I don't want to mix the different kinds of acrylics, so I'm going to have to start repeating colors, I guess. And it's so weird to say that. I feel like I'm coming to terms with that. Can't you be quiet? I guess he wants his moment to shine. So, Kat, sorry I haven't been working on that. The other crochet project that I have going on is the Battenberg blanket that I'm doing as a cal with Leann over at Leann Stitches. I've been working on squares here and there, but I was still working on the same skein that I shared the last time, so I didn't want to show that again. But no, that one's done, so I get to go pick a different skein of yarn to start working on that one. And that project has kind of gotten away from me. I don't know how many squares I have. I have a whole lot of ends to weave in, so I should probably do something about that. So that's that. I finished my first vanilla sock that I've been working on in the car. The yarn, the sock I started probably January 1st this year. It's been very slow going, but I'm making it out of this yarn, blue striped rag yarn purchased from Hobby Lobby. I remember being surprised by that the last time. But here is the first one all done. I actually finished it in the house. I reached a point, I can't remember where I decided I'm just going to work on it. And I worked on it in a few mornings. And then I tried it on and I was ready for the toe. And I was like, that last little bit before you have to start decreasing for the toe goes by so fast for me. I have not cast on the second one yet. No reason why, just haven't. And then when I finished that one, I decided to be really dedicated to my Armande Cardigan. And that has been a problem child. Oh my gosh. I think the last time I shared that one, where was I? I might have been working on the back, or I might have just finished it. I don't remember which. And I'll probably end up inserting a photo or some video in this too to kind of show what I've been doing with this project since I last shared about it. But let's see. As usual, I am using Red Heart Saffron color. The Armande Cardigan is a free pattern from knitty.com. I've got like yarn hanging off of this, but this is what it looks like right now. Since I have the space, this is the back piece. And if you are thinking to yourself, something looks funny about the color, yes. Even though it's the same color, one skein of yarn must have been on the shelf longer or something, because it is very slightly different than the skein I started with. But I don't care. All right. I'll put photos, video that I did already on this over this as I chat about it, maybe. All right, so I did the first side, which I don't know which side it is, if it's the right side or the left side, whatever. I knit it, separated, no, I knit up. I'm working on the collar, which is like this ribbing, and then the plain stockinette, and finished all that, separated it. You had to break it into two parts. One was all the ribbing, the rest was the plain stockinette. Finished that. I'm glad to get done with it. Started working on the second side, if I can find it, and merrily knit away on it. And you can see what I was just talking about. It's separated. And this is what it looks like. And when I finish this and laid the cardigan down on the floor and kind of lined everything all up, and I realized that this part did not match the first part that I finished. And I was not really happy about that. I thought maybe, I think I missed one of these bits, so it wasn't as wide as it should be. And I have some, well, I think it's on the other side where I accidentally did the opposite stitch, like where I was supposed to purl, I knit, because I lost where I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So on one of these sides, I'm probably going to have to drop stitches and pick them back up and fix it, which is fine. I have no fear about that. I've done that with cables in the past too, so I'm kind of fearless when it comes to that. So I thought, okay, I'll fix this. Obviously, I missed something. The day that I was working on this, I had been interrupted a bunch of times. It was actually kind of a stressful day. And I thought, well, I'll just rip back to a certain point and I'll knit it back up again. And I did that, and I compared the two, and this was exactly the same, and it did not match. And I think I posted a picture on social media about my woe on this one. And I put this in timeout for like a day, and I decided to rip the first side out, brought it all the way back, back to about like right here. I mean, it was like 3 hours of knitting that I had to tear out. And last night I started working on it again with the idea I'll work enough over here to see the start of the patterning, and then I'll compare it. And that's what I did, and things weren't lining up again. And I probably like stared at that for 10 minutes going, how can I be messing this up? How can this be like so wrong that it's just not working out? I'm following the pattern. Although granted, I will say like a lot of the nitty patterns, I have, maybe they're not the best well-written patterns. And I know that was probably a grammatically incorrect sentence, but there's a lot of errors in this pattern. And you can tell what was the errors because they highlight them in red to indicate that they fixed them. But there was nothing there in that, so I don't know what the heck's going on. So I stared down at this for like 10 minutes, and then I pulled this part down. You can kind of see where the pattern starting to line up with it over here. And then I kind of like adjusted the fabric of the cardigan all the way down to the bottom. And it's like, this isn't really that far off. What if I didn't need to actually rip that out? Because the fabric was just kind of stretched out funny. I don't know. I'm pretty frustrated with this cardigan at this point though. So I think where I am with this right now is that it's going to go in timeout for maybe another day or so. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish working on the collar and stuff, and maybe try a different way of like measuring how it matches the other side when I'm done. And I can't say cast off, but when I put the stitches, the live stitches on a holder of some sort, and see what it looks like and take it from there. Because if it doesn't line up again, I am going to rip this sweater, and I'm going to put the yarn towards a different cardigan. And that's where I am with that one. That is my problem child. Yeah. I have been doing some other crafting over the last few weeks. One thing I kind of got it in my brain to try and DIY something after receiving the kit, the Mill Hill kit from Janet Jabber's channel. She was doing a giveaway share, and I won a Valentine's themed chart. But I don't have the frames or the perforated paper holders, and we all know how expensive those are. And I thought to myself, let's see if there's something out there that you can make that's a little more budget friendly. So I went online and I did some Googling, and I found a couple things on YouTube, and the one was really pretty, not very attractive. Let's put it that way. I mean, that person just kind of like slapstick something together, but I also don't know where I would find the kind of material that she was using. Another gal who I think her channel is Stitching Reese's Pieces. I'll put the name down here because I don't think her name matches her YouTube channel, and I think she's a Flosstuber. But anyways, she showed a way of making the frame out of vinyl. So if you remember a few Flosstubes back, and I was asking about vinyl, where to buy vinyl, and talking about a project that if it didn't turn out right and I couldn't find better materials, then you just never hear about it. But you're going to hear about it because I cobbled something together, and I'm pretty happy with it. I will say that my first go around, I didn't use my walking foot on my sewing machine the second time I did, and I think that really helped as well. So I'll have a link to the YouTube tutorial on where I learned this from, but I made a frame for my perforated paper out of vinyl. I got the magnets from Amazon. They were like the skinny long ones, like they're like 3/8 of an inch wide by like an inch and a half long, something like that. And I mean, it's floppy, but it will help keep your floss from getting caught on those ridges on the edges. Now, I've never made a Mill Hill before, but I have heard about the floss getting caught on the fabric and stuff. And it's just, I did try to come up with a way to kind of stiffen it up a little bit, and I tried bamboo for kebabs. That did not work. They kind of like deformed the vinyl, and then the ends were kind of, it was not good. I know if I had left them in there, they would have eventually like worn through the vinyl. So I took those out. I'm wondering if popsicle sticks would work. I don't have any popsicle sticks, and as with a lot of things in my life, when I'm working on something, I reach a point where I just want to get it done. Although now that it's done and I've had time to think about it, it's like, oh, I could have maybe bought some popsicle sticks and given it a try. But I don't know for sure, because what would you have done for the corners? But I think you could put it in your Z's creation stand if you wanted to kind of hold it. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to giving it a try, although I've got a Mill Hill kit that I bought myself back in December, I think. So I don't know which, if I'd use start the Valentine's one or start that one, which was I think birch trees with a cardinal button on it. So I didn't realize that Mill Hill kits are like full coverage. So that one with the birch trees is like full coverage. And it's not like bright colors, it's white and gray and black and probably blue. Yeah. So that one, I've been holding on to this one. I've been excited to share that one for a while. And then, oh yeah, then Nashville Needlework Market. I was watching Garen's Stitchery, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the business that did this without having to rewatch the whole video. But some company came out with these in plastic, and they're like 15 bucks. It's like, really? Really? But yeah, it's great that there's an option out there other than the wooden ones that cost like $50 each. Unless there's other ones out there that I don't know about, which, oh, I mean, this was a good learning experience, and I would do it again. But I guess my only thing is that I would try to find a stiffer vinyl. This is vinyl that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I kind of like, I'm sure you can do lots of things with it, like make bags with it and stuff. But it kind of reminds me of the material that you buy for reupholstering seats on boats. I know it's a weird comparison, but that's what it makes me think of. And this was like the prettiest color that I could find up there. They had this blue, brown, black, not very cheerful. And then the last thing that I want to share about is some project bags that I made. I've got this, I've got my kit in it already. Which is Independent Bunnies. And I made a thread bed. This fabric, I love the red. I love how it's all different, but all the elements that I really like about it. Sorry, hearing, it's probably a squirrel. A lot of the elements that I really liked were upside down. Let me see if I can find like this. I would have preferred it not be upside down. I mean, I understand that they did a lot of things back and forth, so there was no like right way to use the fabric. I can't think of the word I want to use. And then of course, I made one of these. And a needle minder to go with it. I have not put anything on floss straps yet. I got smart for making these, and I made templates out of poster board. I'd say this was the last one that I made before the templates, so I had to measure and mark and cut everything out. Where this, I just put the poster board up on the fabric, cut it out, and did all the things. I will say that I discovered that the backing piece I did was 1 inch too short. Yeah. And of course I didn't realize this until after I cut all the fabric, and I only had so much of this fabric because I ordered it from Fat Quarter Shop, and I didn't want to have to order more because, I mean, really, it's fine. I mean, you can see stuff fits in there just fine. You just can't put like a huge honking embroidery hoop in it or not. That being said, I made a second one. And I made a second thread bed to go with it. Oh, yeah. See? George Washington's all right. The flag's not. In the front, 1776 is upside down, but the music and this bit is right side up. So, yeah. All right. The reason why I made a second one is because I'm going to do a giveaway. So if you would like a patriotic bag, all you gotta do is leave a comment on this. Be 18 so I can ask for your address. What are the other things? Don't say the magic words that bring the bots and the trolls, like giveaway and freebie and all that. Tell me what you're working on for patriotic stitches this year, and if it's for the 250th anniversary of our country. So, yeah. Okay, the last thing that I want to share with you today is, I guess, future plans. Although I don't really have any future plans. The projects that I'm working on, I realize that I've kind of fallen into some monogamy with my projects. Whether it be like the knitting, I just kind of like hyper focused on the cardigan. With good reason, I want to get that done. But I realized that I started a couple cross stitch projects and then worked on them exclusively until they were done. I mean, granted, they weren't big, and part of my, with that being in mind that they're not big, and I thought I could get this done if I keep working on it, so I did, and I got them done. Well, I don't want to hyper focus too much on just like any one thing, and I want to stay true to the assignments for the 2 SALs that I'm in and not work ahead necessarily. And then I realized that I'm not doing any sewing. I'm not doing any spinning because I spin fiber into yarn. I haven't touched my spinning wheel in a very long time, so long that I probably need to give her a spa day before I start spinning again. It's been a long time. And what's funny about it is that I identify as a spinner before I identify as a knitter, even though I am a knitter with a capital K, because knitting is a lifestyle. But so there is that. And we're now in April, and I still haven't touched my big porcupine cross stitch project. And I know that I have a hang up on that one, even though I really want to work on it. I don't have a spot for it. So, I mean, I don't have a spot to like set it up and work on it because it's on an 11 by 17 Q snap. It's sitting on my Hope stand. I've got the chart in whatever it's the software I use. Pattern maker. I tell you, my brain sometimes. You know, if I had like a setup for that one, and I think I went through this before in a previous Flosstube, I gotta come up with a setup for that one. So feel like I can just start working on it rather than it being a big production to set up. Neither here nor there. And I see people lately, they're trying to do the different things to kind of spice up their craft life. I want to spice up my craft life too. But I also don't want to do the whip go board. I don't necessarily want to spin the wheel and have that tell me what to do. So what did I do? I created a wheel so it can tell me what to do. But I have a couple different things on it. I've got actually the projects that I just shared, my current whips. And I've got my spinning, I've got my crocheting, I've got my cardigan on it, and I've got my porcupine, and I have a few new starts on it. I've got USA 250, which is a chart by Wrought Iron Stitching. Western, I can't read the whole thing. It's a Lindy Stitches chart. I've got Independent Bun, Live Simply, which is a sampler, and I've got my Advent Christmas piece that I started during Flossmas, because otherwise I don't think I would pick it up and work on it until this winter, right before Flossmas. So there's my wheel. Oh, so there is that. And I'm really hoping the novelty on this doesn't wear off right away. Because I've just like reached this, I don't want to say a funk or a point or a burnout or anything, but it's like I just don't know what to work on next. So I'm hoping this will help me kind of keep things going on eventual starts that I start. And I'm not sure if I'm going to spin this every day or if I'm going to spin it and then work on that project for like 2 or 3 days in a row before spinning again, or a set amount of stitches on cross stitch. If anybody does anything like this, can you tell me what you do? All right, so I have no idea how long this one is, and I keep looking up at the sky because it keeps getting cloudier and cloudier, and I have no idea if it's supposed to rain or snow or ice. Yeah, so I'm hoping this video is not too long. And I keep hearing things, and I can't tell if it's the chickens or not scratching or if it's the squirrels running up. And not that I'm worried about wild animals out here or anything, but it's just, you know, when you're trying to do something like this and you keep hearing noises and the wind's not blowing and all that, I'm still like weirded out that there's no wind. Okay, life stuff. Again, it's quiet. There's not a lot going on. I haven't done anything garden-wise in a while. Yeah, I've just been kind of focusing on the seedlings that I've got. I think in another week or so, I'll be able to finally start my tomatoes and anything that is like start before 6 weeks before frost. Easter was a quiet affair. It was just the three of us, me, my husband, and my son. My son came home sick a few days before Easter. So that was great. He didn't get to enjoy the holiday as much as he could have. We had snow, which I think I raged about on social media. I took pictures and then complained a lot about it. It's kind of hard to see that when you see in other parts of the country that they're getting temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and I think California had 80s, and then you look out and it's snowing and things are icing up, and it's just, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for green grass. I'm ready for the snow to be gone, most of all. Yeah. Although I think in like 2 weeks, things are going to be consistently warmer. I hope so. Mostly I was looking at the lows because once things stay consistently above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, I can start carrying things out to the greenhouse and leaving them once I've hardened them off to be outside. Oh, anything else? No, I don't think so. Yeah, mostly I'm just waiting for the weather to be better. Guess what? I got another phone call. And I don't remember what I was talking about when it cut off. So, yeah, I guess we're going to end it here. Still no fancy outro. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me. I appreciate everyone who takes the time to spend time with me and listen to me enthuse about all my crafty stuff and some of the life stuff. And I hope that you are doing well. I hope where you're at, the weather is much nicer than where it is here. I think I've been sitting out and it's probably upper 30 to lower 40 degrees out here. Thankfully, no wind. Otherwise, I don't think I would have kept doing this. So, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So this is what I kept hearing, and I couldn't understand why I was hearing a noise from that direction. Oh, it feels so good. Test for the sound. How does the sound sound?